So people all over the world eat some really crazy things. But who was the first guy to try it?
We're going to ponder that question today on The Lion's Den.
All right, we're back. I'm Pat.
And I'm Zach.
And we're going to discuss some of the weirder eating habits of people around the world. And today we're going to start with a common one, that's oysters.
Yeah, who's the guy who first ate an oyster? He looked at it and he said, look at this.
Yeah.
A slimy substance inside a shell.
Yeah, the first guy, can you imagine picking that up for the first time and looking at that and going, what is this? It looks like snot in a shell. I think I should eat it.
Now, I've got a theory on this. This guy was probably stuck on a desert island, all right? Nothing else to eat. He looks at it and he says, this looks somewhat wet. Maybe it'll help quench my thirst, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't really do that, but he was like, it's not bad nonetheless.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very good question. We may never know the answer to that. But
true.
I'm kind of curious who was the first guy. But anyway, next is very similar to oysters.
Only
as far
in name,
as,
though.
In name only. Rocky Mountain oysters.
This is a bad idea. Whoever came up with this.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Rocky Mountain oysters, they come in various shapes and sizes.
Way to lead into this.
Yeah.
All right, there's no beating around the bush here.
They come from goats.
Goats.
Sheep.
Yeah, sometimes,
I think sheep.
Sometimes bulls.
And sometimes bulls. But I think sheep are the more common.
Bulls exclusively.
And
because
they're testicles.
they're gonads.
And they are fried. And then people eat them. They call them Rocky Mountain oysters. I've never tried them.
Strange. Neither have I. I don't plan to either.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
What state of mind do you have to be in?
Yeah.
To consider that as a valid eating option?
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
understand.
And I'm just wondering who the guy was that was like,
the guy?
hey, I think we should fry those up and eat them. I don't know. Good question.
Very strange.
Yeah.
But there's other strange ones too. Like, who looked at a snail? Who was the guy who looked at a snail and said, look at this.
Yeah.
It's in a shell. Probably means I shouldn't eat it, right? Like, it's protected, keeping me out.
Escargot.
I'm going to force my way in and eat this thing.
Escargot, yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted, I've tried it. I've had it at some buffets and things like that, Chinese buffets. It's actually not
kind of had
too
it.
bad. Yeah, it's true. We have had it
kind
before.
of.
We had it in our blind taste test.
Blind taste
That was
test.
a good video. You should check it out.
But shameless self-plug.
That's right. But yes, escargot, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, why? And who's the first guy that ever decided, I'm going to eat that? I don't know.
Nice.
So I'm thinking some of these may have been a bet or a dare.
Perhaps, yeah.
know what I mean?
How much money, though? Really, it'd have to be a lot.
I would think it would have to be a little bit. Now, this next one's my favorite. Only because it's something that I actually, truly want to try. I really, really, really want to try it. And people that know me, they know that I am an avid coffee drinker.
And now you know that, too.
And yes, and I this one, Kopi Luwak coffee. Do you want to explain where that comes from?
All right.
Because I want to try it.
This is a bit weird, so follow me here. But down in the Philippines, the people there, they make coffee by picking up droppings from the civet cat. And by droppings, I mean turds.
Yes.
The civet cat eats the coffee berries.
Yes, they're like cherries.
Yeah.
It's a cherry, they say. And it eats it.
It poops them out, and they take it, they clean it up, take off the outer shell, and they make coffee.
Yes. Apparently, the acidic nature of the cat's stomach does something to the coffee. They say it gives it a great flavor. But I want to know, who's the guy that looked at this and went, "Hey, this cat ate some coffee beans and pooped them out. I think we should try to roast them." I mean, I'm thinking this. I'm going, okay. If you got the cherries there, they got the coffee beans in them. What do you need a cat for? Like,
just go find the.
Why would I just get the coffee beans from the cherries?
You know they're nearby somewhere.
And and make those, and they'd be easier to find probably too. I wouldn't have to be looking all over the ground for stuff that the cat left. But yeah, who's the guy then? Who's the guy that follows the cat around and just like, hey, look at that, it dropped another one.
I assume the Kopi Luwak farmers.
Although when you look at the pictures online,
It looks like a candy bar.
it looks like a candy bar,
chocolate.
like a nutty candy bar. That's really weird.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the not bird poop coffee. They do it, which I think there actually is another one that's the Jacu bird, where it eats some and releases it. It's a different type. I don't think it's the Kopi Luwak. It's a different kind, I think, and you do the same with the bird. So that's the cat poop, bird poop coffee.
Very nice. Now this next one, I respect the guy who invented this. All right, this is
weird.
Cobra Heart.
Yeah. Very
Crazy
weird.
nuts. Who was the guy who took a cobra, said, "I've got an idea. This is really good. Really
hardcore.
something special." Probably was at a party. He was probably drunk, and he cut it open, took the heart out, put it in a shot glass
While it was still beating.
while it was still beating. And this is what they do now. They still do it this way. Hardcore, let me tell you. And they fill the shot glass with the blood of the cobra, and they just drink it.
Yeah. Weird.
Or eat it. I mean, I guess it's a solid and a liquid, so it's some hybridization of eating and drinking.
They probably, if it's in
We're
a
gonna
shot
call
glass,
it,
they probably just go and just
Dreeting.
swallow it.
It's dreeting. So
Yeah, it's weird.
it's fascinating. Who was the guy who tried that? Because I want to shake his hand. Probably not, actually. I probably want to stay away from him. But,
Yeah, you don't want to cut your heart out and eat it, right?
No.
All right, so 1,000-year-old egg.
This is weird.
It's actually not 1,000 years old.
No, but it sure looks like
it's also
it.
called the century egg or some different things like that. But it's actually a couple months old, and it's basically buried in the ground with a form of ash and clay and other things for about a month until it turns putrid, in my opinion. But it
Nice and
the
brown
oak,
and
the yolk turns
clear.
like a grayish black color, and then the outside
Is like a greenish brownish hue. It's
kind of clear, kind of see through. Like
You don't-
it's like whoa.
oh, it's so gross.
And then they eat it. And they said, here's the thing. Now they say that when they do this, that it tastes like a hard-boiled egg. Although it smells much worse, they said. But it tastes.
I
like
wonder
a hard-boiled egg.
why.
But I'm going. Who's the guy that thinks, hey, I should stick this in the ground, let this thing rot for a month or so, and then try to eat it?
As opposed to just boiling a couple of eggs.
Yeah, I don't quite get it.
I have different strokes for
so-
different folks, I guess.
I
But that's a
guess.
weird stroke.
I guess. And last but not least, I think is another outrageous one.
Fascinating.
Weird things from around the world, right? And this one is bird's nest soup.
Okay, who is the guy who saw a bird's nest up on a cliff and said, I'm going to risk my life. I'm going to go up there, get this bird's nest,
Yeah.
and make it into a gourmet soup.
Yeah, because literally what it is it's a bird that spits on the side of a cliff, and its saliva sticks the stuff together. And they take this saliva from this bird's nest, and they use that to make this soup. So you're basically eating bird spit. Weird.
I got an idea.
And there's guys that die every year trying to get the stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's very
There's guys
life-threatening.
that die every year just trying to. I'm like,
Try and get bird spit. I've got an idea. This would probably be popular somewhere. Why don't we make booger soup? How about that? Call it something fancy. I don't know.
I'm sure somebody would eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We could market it in like France or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, those are some of the weird things that we came across. Feel free to leave some comments down below, things like that, about weird things you've seen. I mean, I'm sure we didn't cover even a small fraction of the things that are weird out there. But feel free to leave some comments, like us.
Maybe even
check us out.
subscribe and become part of the pride.
Exactly. All right. See you next week.